Yo, yo, yo. What's going down? What's going down? Good morning, people. It's your boy Simeon TV. And right now I'm broadcasting live just to give you guys a little something to live by. Man, I got a little bit before I gotta go to work. So I wanted to hit you guys with a little something that's gonna make you guys think and definitely make you guys maybe even want to share with somebody else. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Because definitely we live in a time where wisdom may not really be the end thing right now. You know, people just kind of just go off the whim and do what they want to do. But we already know that free will is probably the greatest gift and also the greatest curse, of all time. Some may say. But this morning tip is definitely coming out of Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 15, verse 22. And I think that this is something that could really be a blessing to you, being that a lot of us have a purpose. A lot of us got something that we want to do, and we have a day's full, what you call an agenda. You know what I'm saying? And this agenda we established probably the day before or 2 days before or even the day of, in hopes to accomplish something so that when we lay down that night, we good. We good. And then we'll wake up the next day and hopefully plan something else. And then we do the same thing again. And then we good. You know what I'm saying? We good. So this is something for y'all, for the people that's listening to this right now, viewing this right now, especially on Facebook Live. I wanted to hit you guys with something to think about. Like I said, I got 30 minutes before I got to go to work. So I'm going to spend the next 10 minutes just flowing from the dome, putting something into your dome so that you can think about it. Cool? People viewing, that's cool. So the verse that I'm going to be using today to build my case on is out of Proverbs. And I titled this Without Counsel. I titled this podcast, this live streaming, I titled this Without Counsel. And it's coming out of Proverbs 15, chapter 15, verse 22. And it says, without counsel, purposes are disappointed. But the multitude of counselors, they are established. Let that sit. Let that sit for a minute. It says, without counsel, purposes are disappointed. If you're feeling disappointed in your life right now, it's probably because you're lacking counsel in some areas in your life. You're probably lacking counsel. You're probably lacking mentorship. You're probably lacking the right influences of friends to get you to that purpose that you need to get to. That's probably where you lacking that. And one of the biggest things that I've always been told was a wise man keeps around him wise counsel. Then come to find out, that's in Proverbs too. But wise counsel, without that, purposes are disappointed. And I'm here to let you know today that your purpose don't have to be disappointing. But your purpose with the right amount of counsel can actually become fulfilled. It actually can happen. People actually could see the fulfillment of your life unfold right before them. And through that, people can actually see that, man, this guy's really wise because look at the people he got around him. So this morning tip is basically saying to you guys that without counsel, your purpose will not be accomplished. Proverbs 15:22 again says, without counsel, purposes are disappointed, But the multitude of counselors, they are established. I wonder who that's for this morning. I wonder who that verse is for this morning. You don't have to be like everybody else walking around aimlessly. Get you some wise counsel. You know, if you seek to be a nurse, for example, you don't want to hang around other people that want to be a nurse. You want to raise the bar a little bit. Hang around people who are already nurses. You see what I'm saying? Like you can't let fear be the driving reason as to why you can't hang around people who's doing better than you. That's the only way to get better. I mean, think about it. If you're an athlete, you don't want to just be around people who is just hooping at the parks like you, who you known growing up on the block. You want to get around people who's really hooping at a higher level so that you can get better. See, that could be wise counsel. Just playing with somebody better than you is wise counsel. You know what I'm saying? That's wise counsel. And yes, you may feel like you're in a position in your life where it looks no better than this, or, things just seem to can't really work out for you, or no matter how high you go, you always drop way lower than you were before. Look, if you get around wise counsel, the Bible says encouraging words at a good time. How good is that? How good is that to have encouraging words at the right time? You see, because that person is wise. A wise person gives wise advice, encouragement in the right season, says all the right things at the right time to build you up, to edify you. You see, that's the wise counsel you need to be around. Once again, Proverbs 15:22. Without counsel, purposes are disappointed. Purposes are disappointed. But the multitude of counselors, they are established. Once again, good morning, everybody that's just tuning in to this broadcast, live streaming thing that I'm trying to keep on crack-a-lacking. And I just wanted to encourage y'all this morning because I literally now got 26 minutes before I got to go to work. And I won't be on Facebook for the next 8 hours. So I wanted to hit you guys with something just to think about as you guys going about your day is, who is my people around me? Who is my wise counsel? Or do I have any wise counsel? If everybody around me is getting pregnant, then what that look like for me? You know what I'm saying? What that look like for me? Like the chances of me getting pregnant is probably very high if I'm hanging around people who's constantly getting pregnant. If I'm hanging around unmarried people and they're having sex, then guess what? The likelihood of me having sex while unmarried is pretty, likely. So the people who you hang around really affect your destiny. If I want to be a TV host, journalist, radio personality, TV personality, with all these things that I hope to become and be famous for, then I need to start getting around people that's like that too. Right? It's only common sense. But people don't think like that. People are so afraid to lose their friends. People is afraid to, I established this connection with them and I don't know if I should let them go or not. Is they leading you in the right direction? If not, cut them off. Keep your distance. Hang with them once a month. Don't be all connected with them on a day-to-day basis to where you start to think like them, talk like them, and act like them. You don't want to get into that. Your purpose is way more powerful than you can ever even imagine. And if you hanging with low-minded, low-level people, then you're just going to stay there. And then you're going to be miserable every single day because every single day you're not getting nowhere. You're not getting over that hump like that I talked about on my last podcast for those who listen. You actually can go on YouTube and you can catch that that podcast. That was real for a lot of people. A lot of people felt encouraged by that. Go to youtube.com/Simeon TV. You can check it all out. So the verse that I'm coming from today, that I hope you guys will forever remember, is without counsel, purposes are disappointed. But the multitude of counselors, they are established. Are you established this morning? Are you established in your purpose? When people see you, do they see you walking in your purpose, or do they see you just going day by day just like them? Like, what do people see when they see you? Do they see a wise person? Do they see a prudent woman? Do they see a prudent man? Do they see somebody who's trying to get after it? Do they see somebody who's motivated by their dream and by the vision that God gave them? Or do they just see a person just like them going day by day? Going to work, coming home. Going to go kick it, spend some money at the bars, and then that's it. Or are you actually trying to get after it? Is there a place you're actually trying to get to? Is there something that you need to accomplish? Do you have people who look up to you? If nobody looks up to you, then what does that say about you? Become the person people need to look up to. Make that be your motivation. Become the person that people wants to look up to. And that starts by keeping wise counsel around you. If you ain't got nobody you look up to, then the likelihood of people looking up to you ain't likely. If seeds ain't being planted into you, then how can you plant seeds into somebody else? Oh, God, Lord. If seeds ain't being planted into you, how can you plant seeds into somebody else? Come on with it, Simeon. Come on with it. So, once again, as I close, because I still got to get ready for work. As I close, purposes are established when you have counsel around you. Wise counsel is very important. Being around people better than you is very important. Don't be afraid to disenfranchise yourself from people who ain't going nowhere. Matter of fact, that might be the greatest thing you could possibly do. Because right now, your purpose is way more important than your friendship. And it may be hard for y'all to listen because y'all may have friends who y'all grew up with. You may have friends that, like y'all like this with. But a ship can't move when the anchor is down. And your ace could be your anchor. Oh. Your ace could be your anchor. So sometimes you have to be like, yo, I got to lift this anchor up. And if you ain't moving with the ship, then I'm sorry. You got to be left at the dock. And they may hate you for that, honestly. A lot of successful people have tremendous haters, but it's worth it, though. It's worth it for your family, and it's worth it for your generation, for the people who's going to come through your bloodline. It's worth it. But if you hanging around people that's not going to lead you nowhere, if you hanging around people that's not going to build you up and be happy for you when you start to accomplish things that they haven't accomplished, then you might need to get a whole new set of friends. You might need to, I don't know, be alone for a while. It's okay. It's okay to be by yourself. That's not a bad thing. If you're constantly around people, then that means there's something wrong with you on the inside. Like, get to a place where you actually can be alone for yourself and just get by yourself and I don't know, do something that you like to do. You don't have to always be around people. You can be by yourself for a while. You can do something different. You can go and I don't know, go to the movies by yourself. You can do that. You ain't got to go with somebody all the time. Learn to be you by yourself. That way you can be you around other people. So once again, as I close, for those of you just now tuning in, this is called Without Counsel. The title of this is called Without Counsel. And it comes from Proverbs 15:22, saying, without counsel, purposes are disappointed, but the multitude of counselors, they are established. So are you established today? And that's going to be my question to you. All right? Deuces, this is Simeon TV, and I'm signing out.